Hi, this is Laura Turner, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to analyze archetypes in films. Almost every film has basically the same archetypes in them. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is actually from Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, and the journey of the hero that he talks about therein. First of all, of course, we have a hero in our film, and I'm going to use Lord of the Rings as my example today. So the hero of Lord of the Rings is obviously Frodo. Frodo goes on a journey. If you want to tie in another movie, we have Star Wars. Luke is the hero. Usually the hero is reluctant to go on this journey, especially if we're talking about adventure films and journey films like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. So the hero decides that he wants to refuse to go on this journey. Frodo decides, I can't take the ring, and he decides that he does not want to go on the journey. The second archetype that I'm going to talk about is the herald, or the person who actually calls the hero to go on his journey or adventure. And in this case, the herald would be Gandalf. You have to take the ring to Mordor and throw it in the fire. And Frodo says, of course I can't do this. The mentor gives the supernatural aid to the hero. In this case, with Lord of the Rings, it's the same person. It's also Gandalf. The only character that cannot be another archetype in a film is the hero. The hero is himself. Other characters can double. So Gandalf gives the supernatural aid, or the supernatural thing, the ring, to Frodo, and sort of sets him on his journey. Along the way, the hero always has helpers. In Lord of the Rings, there are more helpers than you can possibly count for Frodo. Sam, Merry, Pippin, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, you can just name so many. And if you think about Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, he has Han Solo and Chewie and all these other people that come to help him. Next, the hero along his journey, and toward the end of the journey usually, will meet a goddess figure, the next archetype, who is usually terrible but timeless. So in the case of Lord of the Rings, this goddess would be Galadriel. And if you think about the goddess in Star Wars, would probably be Princess Leia. She is terrible to the hero because he was once in love with her in a way, and she is his sister. So you can get all sorts of mixing up with that stuff. And finally, at the end of his journey, the hero will meet with the father, who's our final archetype, who is like the hero, but is destructive and punishing. So in the case of Lord of the Rings, the father ends out to be Gollum, who is very much like Frodo in his lust for the ring. So that's just my little introduction on how to analyze archetypes in films.